Friends, I would like to tell you a story, a very sad story about a painkiller that has been around in the American society since 1957. That is exactly 50 years. The name of the drug is Darvon, or Darvon-N, or Darvocet. It is basically the same drug. In Europe, the drug is called Distalgesic or Co-Proxamol, as in UK. The working substance in the drug is Propoxyphene or Dextro, as we call it in Europe. We think drugs containing Propoxyphene are the worst drug ever among prescribed drugs. No single drug in the history has caused so many fatal deaths as these drugs have done during the last 50 years. How come I can sit here and say that? Are you supposed to believe me? We, my wife Birgitta and myself Ulf Jonasson from Sweden, we are both doctors, PhDs. We have studied the dangers with Propoxyphene since 1993, that is 13-14 years. We have written and published 8 scientific articles about Propoxyphene. We have also written and defended 2 doctoral dissertations about the drug and its fatal consequences. And to get our alarming data outside the academic world, we also wrote a popular science version of our research that was published both in Swedish and in English. The English name of the book is Fatalities Due to Use or Misuse of Painkillers. We think we have studied the consequences of using Propoxyphene in a quite proper way, and therefore we will tell this sad story about the drug that probably have killed more people than any drug in the history. One of the big pharmas in the United States, Eli Lilly, invented Propoxyphene in 1953. And it took some years before it came out on the market. There was a need for a painkiller without side effects in the early 50s. And Lilly found Propoxyphene. Have you heard this story before? A drug without side effects? The drug was called Darvon. I'm sure that you have heard about it. And it became immediately very popular. It was not for the pain-killing effects the drug became a financial success. Later on, studies showed that the pain-killing effect was not better than aspirin or acetaminophen like Tylenol. The users felt good because Darvon is an opiate close to methadone, morphine and heroin. And it influences your brain. You feel good. The brain affects your central nervous system. As I told you before, we have studied Propoxyphene since 1993. Our main result during the investigated years 1992 to 1999, that is 8 years, was that 200 persons in Sweden were poisoned to death every year due to Propoxyphene poisoning. 200 persons died every year because they used a very popular painkiller. And we think this was very alarming. Sweden is a quite small country. We have just about 9 million inhabitants. In the United States, there is soon 300 million inhabitants. And we know, thanks to international statistics, that the American people used even more Propoxyphene than the Swedish people did. Is it therefore possible for us to assume that there is more than 30 times as many fatal deaths in the United States as in Sweden? Yes, we think so. If we look at the consumption of Propoxyphene in the United States compared to Sweden, we find some very interesting figures. The average consumption of Propoxyphene in Sweden during the investigated years 92 to 99 was 2,400 kilograms a year. In the United States, you consume an average of 99,400 kilograms a year. It is more than 41 times as much as in United States as in Sweden. Is it possible that the number of fatal deaths in the US are more than 40 times as in Sweden? What do you think? Here are some more figures. We know that consuming 2,400 kilograms a year in Sweden causes 200 fatal deaths every year. You can say that it became one fatal death for consuming every 12 kilograms in Sweden. I think you understand and accept the metaphor. How many fatal deaths could that be if you consume 99,400 kilograms a year in the United States? The numbers are so high, you will not even think about them. And it gets even worse if you think back 50 years. Consuming 80,000, 90,000 or 100,000 kilograms a year in 50 years. In 2005, the consumption was 110,040 kilograms. I will also mention some figures about the Propoxyphene situation in the United Kingdom. They have also had a huge problem with fatal poisonings due to Propoxyphene. In the year 2004, some 1.5 million persons got 7.5 million prescriptions on their version of Propoxyphene, namely Co-Propxamol. These 7.5 million prescriptions became more than 900 million Co-Proxamol pills, almost 1 billion. In the same year, there was around 24 million prescriptions in the United States. These 24 million prescriptions became almost 3 billion pills containing Propoxyphene. This is 3 followed by 9 zeros. The medical product authorities in the United States, in UK, the MHRA, decided January 31st, 2005, that Propoxyphene products would be phased out in the country till the end of the year. They did not succeed doing that. Why? There were so many problems to stop using the drug for the users. So many side effects, so much suffering to get rid of the drug. MHRA then decided the drug to be out of the market in the end of the year 2006, but they did not succeed this time either. Today, the MHRA are saying that the drug definitively will be out of the market last December this year. Will they do that? I do hope so. Why do not the United States authorities inform the American society about these harming drugs? We can put an answer in just 2 words: the law. We have different laws in Sweden and in the United States. In Sweden we have one federal law for all branches of forensic medicine, which are medicine, chemistry, psychiatric and genetics. In the United States you have different laws in different states. In some states you have the old English system of coroners, and they are more investigators than medical doctors. You also have the medical examiner system, and they are medical doctors, but usually not specialists in forensic medicine. And most important of all, in Sweden, the medical doctors take a blood test of all dead persons that come to the forensic medicine station. And these blood tests are all screened for every legal drug there is in Sweden, and that includes Propoxyphene. Thanks to that routine, we find our Propoxyphene cases. And unfortunately, you do not find so many Propoxyphene cases. In the United States, the decision to take a blood test is on the level of every one of the 3,200 counties in the country. And by many reasons, the needed blood tests are mostly not taken. I think this is a big problem for your country. You lose lots of important information in many areas of medicine. Missing the prevalence of Propoxyphene is just one. I would like to say a few more words about who are responsible for these tragedies. The many fatalities due to poisoning from Propoxyphene. The manufacturers are, as I said earlier, Eli Lilly. They have earned billions of dollars during the last 47 or 48 years. Why do I not say the last 50 years? The reason I say 47 or 48 years is that Eli Lilly sold their rights to their brands, Darvon and the others, to some less known US pharmaceutical companies. And these companies were apparently not aware of our research. If they had known about this research, they would have been stupid to get into this crazy business of a drug that kills. Lilly has known about our research since 1999, at least in Sweden. We have printed proof of that. Lilly are afraid of the consequences when the drug will be banned. They are afraid of how many people that will sue them because they have lost some dear ones, a father, a mother, a sister, a brother, a cousin, an aunt, an uncle, or just a very close friend. These have died after they used on Painkiller, Darvon-N and Darvocet. Do you remember Vioxx? This drug was withdrawn from the market in 2004. The manufacturer, Merck & Company, said that there was an increasing risk to get heart problems when using Vioxx. They talked about increasing risk. We talk about fatal death, thousands of fatal deaths just in the United States. Now Merck & Company has to pay billions of dollars in damages. You can say that Lilly, almost to the last minute, earned millions of dollars every year on their Propoxyphene drugs. Both in Sweden and in UK, they did the same thing. They sold Distalgesic to another company in Sweden and UK. Kind of a surprise for this company, buying a drug that was just banned after a short time. Money are apparently more important than human lives for Lilly. It is as simple as that. I would like to finish this message by telling you how things could develop. After restrictions were implemented twice in Sweden, 2001 and 2005, thanks to our research, we now can say that 500 to 600 lives have been saved since 2000, the year 2000, until now. During 92 to 99, some 200 persons were poisoned to death every year. The Medical Product Agency in Sweden recently informed that during the year 2005, 56 persons were poisoned to death, and we feel proud of what we have done. We now feel a moral obligation to inform about the dangers with Propoxyphene all over the world. And we know when the FDA will ban Darvon and the other Propoxyphene brands, lots of lives, thousands and thousands, will be saved in the United States. If the FDA doesn't do that, the sad story continues. We thank you for watching this video. Goodbye. Idén fick jag när jag såg ett 60 minuters program.
Ja, vi tar om det där.